Start off by loading up Pro Engineer Schools Edition. Once the program is loaded, search through your files until you find the base parts. Now load up bodymold.part. In the same as the extrude tutorial, move the Insert Here icon up until it reaches the base corners. Now what we're going to do is create some new datum planes, so select the Create Datum Plane tool and highlight the back end of the base part. You'll notice that we can move this backwards and forwards. Move this into the model by 2 mm and accept. Now, without clicking anything else, create a new datum plane and drag this until it reaches 40. Click OK. Now we're going to make another one. Drag this by another 40. And one last one, we're going to put it on the other end of our base part. We want to inset by another 2 mm. Okay, without clicking anything else, hit the sketch button so we can start sketching on the last datum plane we created. Now, using the line tool, click where I click. Make sure this line's horizontal. Now middle click, hit the selection tool, and now hit the measurement tool. Now we want to make a measurement from this point here to the edge of our model. So select both of those and then middle click to place the dimension. Now we want to place a measurement from here and here to create an angle. Hit the selection tool and now we can start editing these measurements. We want this one to be 2 and we want this one to be 80 degrees. Now the last measurement was to change this one, we want to change this to 20. Now accept our sketch. Now we're going to make a new sketch on datum plane 3, so highlight datum plane 3, hit sketch, and sketch again. Now we're going to use a thing called the Use tool, so select it from the tray, select Loop from the dialog box, and now we can pick any edge and it'll copy all the data of the previous sketch that we just drew, except the sketch. Now what you should see is that the sketch that we drew on the first datum plane has been copied onto the new datum plane. Now on datum plane 2, we want to create a new sketch, and using the line tool, again click where I click. Now middle click. Now we want to add our own measurements in, so we'll go to the measurement tool, select this point here, and this line, and middle click, and this line and the base line, and middle click. Now we want to change these angles to 80, and this measurement to 2 mm. We also just want to create one more dimension along the height of our sketch, and make this 30. Now accept the sketch. Now we want to copy this sketch again onto the next datum plane. So create a new sketch on datum plane 2. Hit the copy tool again, hit loop, and now select the last drawing that you just sketched and hit accept. Finally, on the last datum plane, we want to create a new sketch and we just want to copy the first 2 sketches again. So hit the copy tool, loop, and then select the line. And hit OK. Now, to create a swept blend, we need to make a trajectory. To do this, we need to create a sketch on the top of our base part. We need to make some sketch references, so go to Sketch, then References. Let's select these 2 lines, datum plane 1 and datum plane 4. hit the solve button, now hit close. I want to create a line going from these two datum planes, going along the top datum plane as a reference. A middle click, and accept the sketch. Now we want to make our swept blend. So without unselecting the sketch, go to Insert, and then Swept Blend. If you have accidentally unhighlighted the line, just select it again. Now, we want to go to Sections, we want selected sections, so make sure that's checked, and then select our first sketch. Select Insert, select the second sketch. We want to do this on every single sketch in our swept blend. What you may notice is that sometimes our swept blend gets confused. All we need to do is tell the swept blend where the start of our sketch is every time. So just drag the handle up to the right hand corner. And the same again for this one. Once your swept blend is complete, accept. Now what you'll notice here is that our swept blend is hollow. It has no thickness. So what we want to do is right click on the swept blend in the model tree and edit the definition. Change it to a solid and then accept. Now you should have a solid mould. Okay, so at the minute we've got a car but it's looking pretty ugly. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a round onto the front. So if we select this edge here and bring this down, this makes a nice curved bonnet for the front of our car. We're going to do the same for the back of the car, just to smooth it all off. Doesn't really matter too much about the dimensions, just so long as it looks right. Okay, now we want to have a round going all the way around the side of the car. This just takes off that nasty edge. It's about 2mm. Okay, so now we just need to get our wheel arches back in. So if we drag the Insert Here icon down to the bottom, this will regenerate all the parts before. And you'll see that we've got our wheels back. Okay, so these don't fit in very well. So what we want to do is add another round, one here, and another one here. Again, don't worry too much about how big these rounds are, just as long as they're not too big that it makes the model fail. Okay, so now we need to mirror the car. So select Body Mold from the model tree, and then select the Mirror tool from the tray. And also we want to view all the datum planes. Select that, and then all we have to do is select which datum plane we want to mirror on, and then hit OK. And now we've got a complete car.